By most people was the land reform provision in the Democrats' most recent coronavirus relief bill. It allocated billions to so-called farmers of color. At the same time, that bill denies money to farmers who have the wrong skin color. That is, by definition, racism. It's clearly illegal under the law, under the Civil Rights Act. Now, several farmers are suing over it, as they should, but MSNBC doesn't like that. MSNBC just ran a segment accusing those farmers of being white supremacists.
And really, you know, his group, America First Legal, a more accurate name for it would be White Men First Legal, because it really is about attacking any efforts to make society more equitable for marginalized communities. And so far, all it is doing and trying to do is to create hysteria around efforts to make society a more livable place for brown and black communities, for women, for anyone who's not a white man.
Adam Faust is not the picture of privilege. He runs a farm. He's lost both his feet. He's one of the farmers suing over this racist law. He joins us tonight with his attorney, Rick Essenberg. Adam and Rick, thanks both for coming on tonight. Adam, just summarize for us why you're filing this suit, if you would.
Well, basically just because racism against anybody is wrong, and we can't have a government that's picking and choosing who they're going to give any program to based solely on the color of their skin.
So you grew up in this country, I can tell by your accent. Weren't you taught all along the way that that was contrary to the Constitution, to federal law, to Martin Luther King's vision of America? Are you surprised by this?
Extremely. I mean, like you said, everything that we've all learned growing up is racism was wrong, and now all of a sudden the federal government seems to think that racism is acceptable in certain ways and should never be acceptable.
No, it shouldn't. And if you complain about it, you're a white supremacist. So, Rick, how can this law be legal? I don't remember anyone pointing that out when it passed, but I thought there were plenty of federal laws that banned this kind of discrimination.
No, it can't be. Our courts have made clear for a number of years, Tucker, that the right to be free of racial discrimination is an individual right that we all have. It's not a group right. There is no such thing as benign discrimination. There's no such thing as a little make-up discrimination to even things out. You know, when the MSNBC commentator talks about equity, I mean, we are all for laws that prohibit discrimination, but those laws have to apply across the board to people like Adam, as well as to black and Hispanic farmers.
So if the next administration said, you know, we're picking a different racial group and we're just going to send them money because of how they were born, I mean, do you think that would make it through the courts? Would that go unnoticed?
No, and it wouldn't. I mean, look, we fought a civil war. We had a lengthy civil rights movement to acknowledge the principle that was in our founding documents that we are all to be treated as individuals. And this really disturbing move that we have now towards equity instead of equality of opportunity will not end well. It will lead, as I think you're pointing out, to a war against all, where we all are looking for our racial spoils, and that's simply not what America is about. And I'm so glad that Adam is willing to stand up and fight this now before it becomes far more acceptable than it is. This is immoral, and it is unconstitutional and illegal.
Well, it's totally immoral. Adam, really quick, are you surprised that you're being attacked as a bad person for standing up against racism?
Yeah, it does surprise me, since what we're doing is anti-racist. I mean, we're fighting racism for everybody in the country, not just one group, and yet some people seem to think that being anti-racist is now racist.
Yeah, you don't seem very privileged to me. I'm rooting for you here and for the entire country, people of all colors. This is a principle that we have to preserve, obviously. Adam and Rick, I appreciate you coming on tonight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.